Today is question and answer time. Garlic Jeans, my great buddy, smells awesome, asked, Linux Ninja, do you mind making a video or answering what is your daily Linux tasks at your job? Yes, I will do that. Well, here's the raw truth. There is no single daily routine. It just entirely depends on your role and the environment that you work in. Here is a disclaimer. This is based on my experience alone, not yours. You're not included, so your opinion should go into the comment section, really. You know, like, really? You're not in the circle of trust yet. So this is my experience. This is not written on stone tablets handed to us from above. This is just my life. I've been in IT since almost the last century. Yes, I'm super old. I am a boomer indeed. So, but what I bring to the table is that diverse work experience based on three really different, what do we call it? IT landscapes. So you have three parts and you have to like stay because it's going to shift and mold and change. It is a cliffhanger. So it's the in-house experience, the MSP one, and then the contractor one. So let's dive in. Role number one. Most people, I think, would probably fall into this category. The in-house Linux administrator, the single company, you're on staff, you're not a contractor, you know the infrastructure intimately. You know, you might even have built it over the years. I worked for one company for 17 years. I built the infrastructure from scratch. I knew it. It was my baby. And the servers have no names that you know by heart. And you have a long, quirky history with them. And so that is one role. And that role really includes, in my experience, user permissions management. So tickets related to groups, access control, onboarding, offboarding people, maintenance and patching. So like routine updates, OS upgrades, and decommissioning end-of-life servers. So especially if you have a security person, officer breathing down your neck, looking over your shoulders like, hey, you really should patch this Python. So that's included. So in the daily tasks. So, and also server provisioning. So spinning up new servers for specific needs. And in like this, I'm an employee. This is my environment. You get an email like, hey, we need a server for app X. So often in that environment, you create these standalone monolithic servers rather than going back and like re-architecting things and consolidating services. And another thing is resource management. So adding or changing resources, a popular one, can I get a name in? Can I get a name in? Increasing disk space and adjusting resources. So you're gonna learn LVM by heart. It's gonna be your love language. And then there's this thing that I love to hate, really just hate. It's like this firefighting and triage thing. You know, you're chasing monitoring alerts. You're always behind the eight ball. You're always responding to something instead of like working towards the future. I think a lot of administrators are like, preach it. So yeah, firefighting. Done a lot of that. So like chasing monitor alerts, renewing expired SSL certs, diving into journal CTL logs to prove to devs that the server is fine, but their app is broken, stuff like that. That's a daily thing, kind of a thing. So checking dashboards, SAPEX, Grafana, Nagios, Datadog, and you check it over your morning coffee on a Monday or something, just to see what happened during the night. And in this role where you're on staff, this is your environment, it is the comfiest and it feels the least stressful out of the three that I'm going to mention. It feels safe. And your team, it feels like home. It's like you go from home to another home. And it's your chair, it's your desk. It's like, hey, Susie Q, how was the weekend? Nice. More on that because safe and homey can be a double-edged sword. So I'm going to talk about that later. So watch till the end. Here is role 2. So it's the managed service provider, MSP administrator. So what's different? Well, it includes everything from role 1, but it's next level pressure. A client is actively paying your company to guarantee uptime and top tier security. You have to have a wider and deeper knowledge base. And you're not managing one environment that's yours. You're managing hundreds of clients and thousands of servers across every Linux distro and software stack under the sun, really. So include everything from like role 1, and then now add these daily tasks and differences. So there's this volume of tickets that's next level. And there's an accountability that's also next level. So tickets, a lot more tickets. And if a server goes down, you can't tell Susie in HR to just go grab a coffee. There are formal incident reports, SLAs, and then there's the post-mortem meetings when things really hit the fan. You have to explain stuff to the client. Not fun. So you can't just say, hey, I'm going to get to it after the break. That's not going to happen. So, and now you're at an MSP, and also there you have automation at scale, which you don't really need in your cozy environment where you're the on-staff employee. So automation is at scale. You're not doing these manual. You might have a golden image like in role 1, but generally you're not doing manual setups anymore. You're using Terraform, Ansible, heavy bash scripting. You're building custom automated workflows. And so you're deploying and remediating at scale. Remember, role 1, you got in on a Monday, you're having your coffee, and you're checking Simon, you're checking Datadog, Grafana, Nagios, like, hey, what happened during the weekend? This, in an MSP, it's different. So you have this multi-tenant alert fatigue. Instead of checking one company over coffee, you're staring at a centralized alert wall. It's more of a rapid fire triage at times, and there's outages and stuff that violates SLAs, and it's just different. So that is different from role number 1. Then the role number 3, and you might say, oh, are there only 3 roles? No, there are, I don't know how many roles. I'm making this up because it's based on my life. I've had 3 roles, and this video is about me. So sorry, if you have had 77 roles, make a video. Tell me about it. I would love to hear it. But I am now currently in role 3 of my life, and that's the contractor. So what's happening right now with me, so this is all about me. I'm brought in on site or remotely. Most often it's on site for ad hoc emergencies or short-term projects that, they need extra help to finish, or they just don't have the on-premises knowledge to finish or do. So it's the Lone Ranger. There are things about it that are hard. Okay, thank you for asking. There's no built-in MSP support team. Like at the MSP, I had a team of guys, some of them awesome. Just like if I had a problem, I would ask, they would help me. We would figure things, problem solve together. And when you're the contractor and you're going to the client, there is no in-house safety net. There's nothing familiar. The buck stops entirely with you. So it is different. It's a trial by fire. You get dropped into unfamiliar environments where shit has hit the fan sometimes, and you have to troubleshoot, you have to think on your feet, and you have to do it fast and quickly. So this is by far, the most stressful role. It's high accountability combined with zero baseline knowledge of their legacy setup. So in role 1, you know the service by name. You know that, oh, Betsy, 01. She doesn't like that. So you know how to fix things. You know things. And even at the MSP, slowly you start to build up this legacy knowledge of things and clients, and if you're there long enough. So that's going to happen, which is nice. As you're a contractor, you have to do system archaeology and reverse engineering. So digging through undocumented legacy scripts and some mysterious cron jobs and custom compiled binaries left behind by an administrator that quit 5 years ago. You're trying to figure out why mission critical database doesn't boot. Like, what's happening? Because somebody 10 years ago, brought something together and made stuff happen that was broken during an update, and nobody knows why. That's now your role to figure out why. So you don't have the luxury of time. So you don't have like 6 months to do a clean re-architectural, the redesign, fancy with your mocha latte. Your task is just to stop the bleeding and patching vulnerable things and getting stuff back online and just writing a clean like handover document and just get stuff fixed. Yeah, the contractor stuff is entertaining, interesting, keeps you on your toes, and you have to keep learning. That's a great thing. So I want to get to talk about safety, routine, all that stuff, which I said might be a double-edged sword. Safety is amazing because your stress levels are probably pretty good. There's a financial and routine safety. You have a steady paycheck, you have predictable hours, and often you know exactly the problems or almost know the solutions before they happen because you know everything so well. The problem with all of that being said, I felt after having been at a company for a long time was skill stagnation. I just knew the environment too well. And the environment just became too comfy. I stopped innovating. I kept managing servers in the same way that I did 10 years ago, 5 years ago. And so the industry moves on. So you have containers, you have GitOps, DevOps, modern automation, and you might say, oh, I worked for blah, blah, blah for 30 years and I'm just hip and cool and like, great, that's you. That's not me. I think it's human nature to like sit back and just like, yeah, this chair is comfy. I know it. I'm always going to have it the same way. And slowly become this old man screaming at cloud. The industry just moves on and you're kind of stuck in your environment. That was my experience. Okay, this is a hypothetical. Let's say you've been at the same company for 15 years, 20 years, and the company restructures or downsizes, and you suddenly realize that your skills are stuck in 2010. And your skills are specialized to your environment that you created and not the general job market. That's my motivation, the takeaway. The Uber Eats, takeaway, eat at home, advice. If you're at a company and you love it, enjoy the comfort, enjoy the team, but never let your skills get too comfy. Use the time that you have at this, I would say, lower stress in-house role to build a home lab, learn automation, and just continuously challenge yourself in how you manage your infrastructure so you stay sharp and don't become this dinosaur. I call it often here in Iceland that you become like, what's it called? Furniture. You become furniture. That's the word that I was looking for. I was thinking about a chair, but you don't become a chair. You become this nice furniture at the company. And it's like, yeah, there's that furniture. Don't become that. So that's my motivational rant also. And so if you have any questions, let me know. I love getting questions on the YouTubes, and so I can make more videos. And this has just been my story. Your story, of course, can be different. But in general, it's okay. Somebody might ask me, thank you. Do you want to keep being a contractor, since it clearly is stressful, and sometimes you have a lot of work and sometimes you don't have work? That's also stressful. So yes, I would like to keep doing it, but honestly, I would love to do YouTube. But to tell you the truth, the last month I got like $11 from YouTube. So that doesn't even buy a hot dog in Iceland, which is like the most expensive country, I think, in the world. So I would love to do YouTube, but honestly, right now, as a contractor, like having done all of these steps, I think I enjoy the contracting the most because it really keeps you fresh, because, you're dumped in a location, you don't know anything, and it's like, oh, let's figure this out. So it's kind of fun. So it gets the adrenaline up, and when you fix something and you walk out, it's like, yeah, that was fun. And when it takes too long, that's shitty. But anyways, I really appreciate you. I hope that you found this informational, educational, funny, helpful, whatever adjective you want to put in there. But I would love to hear comments, like and subscribe, all that jazz. So until next time, bye.